Hello, grade 1. Today we'll be reading our first story in the reading workshop, okay? And the title of today's story is called Cubs in a Hut. Cubs, if you don't know, cubs are baby bears, okay? So what do we call a baby bear? Cub. And if you look at the picture on page 34 and 35, you'll see that the main characters or the characters in the story are 3 cubs. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3 small bears or cubs, and they're doing something. What are they doing? They're building a house. Okay, as you see here, they're building a house. And the title of our story says, Cubs in a Hut. So these small bears are building a home for themselves. They're building a hut. A hut is a small house in the forest. Okay, so where are they? These 3 cubs are in the forest building a hut. Okay, it says here, what buildings do you know? Okay, it's asking you what kind of buildings do you know? What kind of homes do you know? We have some family homes, houses with a roof. We have tall buildings like we have in the city here in Port-Said. We also have townhouses. They have many buildings. The homes that we live in, that we see in our community are very different. Okay, it says what are they made of? People use different material to build their homes today. Today in our story we'll find out what these 3 cubs will use to build their home. Okay, as you see here, the first one wearing a yellow shirt has the equipment and tools such as a hammer and a toolbox. The other 2 have different materials. One has a piece of wood and the other one has mud. Let's see what they use to build their homes. On page 36, let's make a hut, said Gus. We could use mud, said Russ. It will be fun, said Bud. So here, these 3 cubs each have a name. We have Bud, Russ, and Gus. So Gus has an idea and tells his brothers, let's build a hut. Okay, as we said, a hut is a small house. So Russ says, let's use mud. And then the third one, Bud, said that would be a lot of fun. So what did they do? The cubs had a plan. Bud got a big stack of sticks. Russ and Gus got mud and grass. So they started planning. Okay, they started drawing their hut, and they decided the steps of how they will build it and the material of what they will use to build their hut. Okay, so Bud got some sticks. Russ got some mud, and Gus got some grass. So these are the materials that they will be using to build their hut. On page 38, the cubs did a very good job. Let's move in, yelled Russ. Yes, yes, yelled Bud and Gus. So the cubs did a very good job and they were very happy. Russ told them, let's move in, let's go live in our house. And the other 2 cubs were very happy. The cubs set up rugs and beds. They filled up the hut with lots of stuff. So the cubs, started putting things into their house, such as a rug and a bed and a picture and a ball. They started fixing their house so they can go live in it. Then one night, 3 cubs got up. Drip, drip, drip. My bed is wet, yelled Bud. So one night while the cubs were sleeping, drops of water started falling on their head. So Bud said, my bed is wet. And then Gus said, my head is wet, yelled Gus. It's not fun to live in a wet house, in a wet hut, yelled Russ. So they were all angry that water is dripping on their head. So, we must fix it, said Bud. It will not drip on us, said Gus. We will not get wet, said Russ. So the three cubs went on top of the house on the roof and started fixing the roof so they will not get wet. Okay, they fixed it and they said, "It will not drip on us," said Gus. Gus said, "It will not drip on us," and Russ said, "We will not get wet." It is good to live in a dry hut. Three cubs are as snug as bugs in a rug. Okay, so after the three cubs fixed the roof, they went back to bed and they were warm and slept like little bugs in a rug. Alright, last week we started talking about the characters of the story. Who are the characters? The characters are the people or the animals in the story. So last week in our realistic fiction story, the characters were human. This week, the characters are animals, okay? The main characters are the three cubs, which are Bud, Russ, and Gus. What is the setting? The setting is the place the story is, where the story is. Okay, where are they in the story? They are building a hut in the forest. A forest is a place that has plenty of trees. And the events is what happens in the story. Okay, so it says here, the cubs had a plan. Bud got a big stack of sticks. Russ and Gus got mud. Okay, so what did the cubs decide to do? They decided to build a hut. Okay, what did they do? They planned it. They wrote the steps they decided what they would use to build their hut. So let's see the short. So the characters are Bud, Russ, and Gus. Where are they? They are in the forest. Okay, what did Bud do? He got sticks. What did Russ do? He got mud. And what did Gus do? He got grass. Okay, these are the main characters. These are the characters in the story. And where were they? They are in the forest. And this is what each one got to build their hut. We also said that the genre of the story is a fantasy. Okay, a fantasy is not a real story. Okay, it's not a real story and the characters are not real. Okay, what else? The events in the story are not real and can never happen in real life. Why? Because the character here are animals and these animals are acting like humans. Can cubs build homes? No. Can cubs wear clothes? No. Can cubs talk? No. So these are all reasons that this story is a fantasy. Okay? Okay, I think I covered it all. And that's it. See you guys later.